The year is 2017, and I am freshly laid off from my gig as the senior copywriter for a spiritual guru. Yep, I spent a year writing all about how to find inner peace, and yet I was a walking chaos ball of fear and frustration. I had no audience, no connections. All of my eggs were in a very empty I have a job basket. But fast forward 1 year later, and I had built a 6-figure business. I had more work than I could handle, and I have more than sustained that since then. Now, for the most part, I didn't build an audience to create that reality. I borrowed one. There is a whole borrowed trust economy that almost nobody talks about, but the top 1% of personal brands and creators leverage this like nothing else. In this video, I am going to show you what borrowed trust is, how it works, and why it works better than almost anything else to grow your business quickly. I'm going to share the specific ways that I have borrowed trust to generate real revenue without ads, without social media, without running on this constant content treadmill, and without existing connections. Listen, if you have felt like trust is the thing standing between you and the growth and clients and customers that you want, you are right. But you do not have to build it the hard way. By the way, if we haven't met yet, hi, I'm Shanti, and I help solopreneurs who are stuck at this 5 to 15K a month revenue level to break beyond that plateau without breaking their spirits in the process. I help you work smarter, not harder, as cliche as that sounds. And I do it in a really unique way where when you win, I win. So if you're curious about that, you can scoop the deets below this video. But for now, let's talk about borrowed trust. Okay, so you may have heard that we are in a trust recession. Now, this is very annoying news because as online business owners, creators, coaches, trust is the currency of conversion. There is no getting around it. And unfortunately, at this stage in the game, a lot of your would-be dream clients have been burned. They have built up a shield of cynicism and skepticism and doubt that you are the real deal and you can help them. And that really sucks because it makes building trust a lot harder. And so, what are your options here? In a world of like AI generated everything and faceless brands and this message that like as creators and personal brands, we just need to show up consistently and build our audience and post on social media every day and do the long, slow, hard work that hopefully one day will lead to the level of clients and customers that we want to be able to sustain our lives and ourselves through our businesses. We believe that we have to do all of those things. And I know that you might be skeptical about the word shortcut, which is totally fair because most shortcuts are absolute baloney, but borrowing trust is a legitimate, real shortcut. The top players in the online space figured this out a long time ago, that trust can be transferred. And you see it all the time. right? Like you see author over there who has a new book and suddenly they are on literally every podcast, right? That is them borrowing trust. And there is no reason that you cannot tear a page out of that playbook. We experience trust transfers all the times as humans. It's like a little psychological evolutionary shortcut where if someone we trust introduces us to someone or something that they trust, well, they get to borrow that trust, right? It is transferred. Think about like a friend recommends a yoga studio in a city with 127 different yoga studios. Which yoga studio are you going to try? Probably the one that your friend recommended, right? Or imagine that you're sitting in a cafe and a total stranger walks up to you and they start chatting you up, and immediately your guard goes up and you're like, who is this person and what do they want from me, right? But imagine the barista who you trust and know introduces you to that same stranger beforehand, guard goes down. Suddenly you trust this person. You're gonna give them the time of day. Okay, so imagine it now from a different context. Someone who has played the long game and built trust with their audience introduces you to their peeps. You get to inherit the trust that they worked so hard to build. There is a transfer, and suddenly, very quickly, you go from cold to warm. You go from shields up to, I'm curious about this person and what they have to say. Which, quite honestly, if you are the real deal, and if you are at like 5 to 15K a month and you've been in business for a while, you very likely are the real deal, right? You can get people results. All you need is a door opened. All you need is for the shields to go down and for people to give you a chance, because once you have that, once you can open the door, you can show them that you know your shit and you can support them with whatever transformation it is that they are looking for. So let's just look at a quick example of how this works IRL, again, in the world of business. So there is this woman, her name is Callan Faulkner, and she teaches AI. And before this past week, I had no idea who this chick was. But she is in a launch and she has so many people, creators, brands who are promoting her bootcamp that she is running. She has done a really good job of finding aligned partners. Now, these aren't necessarily people with huge audiences. Like some of them are quite small. There's this woman, Anna Nasseri, and she's been promoting Callan and her boot camp, and my ears are perking up. I'm like, I had no idea who this person was before. I've now seen Anna promoting her. I've seen Natalie Ellis promoting her and a ton of other people. And like my finger is hovering on the buy button with this woman who a week ago, I had no idea who she was. All right, so we're back in 2017, freshly laid off. And I have maxed out my credit card on a business coaching duo who is encouraging me to start cold pitching. With great hesitation and fear and discomfort, I did what they said. So I started pitching myself to every business podcast that I could think of, cool agencies who might want to hire me, brands that I really liked and thought I could help. And I was every single day sending a lot of pitches, each highly customized and personalized to whoever I was reaching out to. Now, imagine my surprise when I got my first yes. And it just so happened to be from John Lee Dumas of Entrepreneur on Fire, which is still going. This is one of like the longest running business podcasts I think that there is. And in 2017, this was like top 10 business podcast. I could not believe that he said yes. So I show up to this interview. I am like literally shaking, totally green. And we wrap it up after 16 minutes. It was just a super short little interview. And what does JLD say to me? He says, how can I hire you? So after this episode, not only does he become a client, I also get a ton of new leads just from the episode, and I am shooketh. I went on to repeat that process many times over, getting on different podcasts, often the hosts wanting to work with me and hiring me, and then they introduced me to their cool, successful friends, and that ball just kept rolling. I can directly trace, at a minimum, $300,000 just to a few key relationships like that one. Okay, so you might be thinking, cool, but I don't want to go on a ton of podcasts. You need to know that is not the only option. That is not the only way to borrow trust. I have personally been a guest teacher in people's communities, run workshops in person and online. I have done like swaps with people where I come and teach their entire audience and vice versa. They come and do mine, or we do some sort of like affiliate deal, and podcasts are just one vehicle. The really important thing that you need to keep in mind is that brands and other businesses want to give you a platform if what you are offering is directly relevant and helpful to their audience. Number one, is not in direct competition with what they do. Number two, you make it easy for them to say yes to you. And lastly, whatever you are doing makes them look good. The final, and this is the totally optional piece here, is that potentially it's profitable for them to partner with you. Now, it doesn't always have to be the case, but if you have a validated offer that you know people want, you've got a great track record, you have a system for bringing in new customers and leads, then cool. You could do some sort of affiliate deal and tick that profit box, which often is, just another nod in your favor and a reason for someone to say yes to lending you trust. Okay, so maybe you're like, okay, if this works so well, why isn't everyone doing it? The answer is really simple, and that is discomfort. That's it. Now, the discomfort gets sidestepped when you are a brand that has a team that you can outsource this sort of thing to. Beautiful. That's why, for the most part, you see a lot of bigger players in the space really leveraging this strategy, and a lot of the smaller fries just not doing it at all because of discomfort, because it is uncomfortable to ask for something. It is uncomfortable to pitch yourself. There's no getting around that. You'll undoubtedly be flooded with internal questions of what do I really have to offer? Who am I to reach out? What if I'm annoying? What if this comes across as spammy? Everyone hates cold emails, right? Those voices will not go away. The only thing that gets them to piss off is you just do the thing and you realize that it works and it gets results really quickly. Because if you know your shit and you can get someone in the room with you, giving you the time of day, then hell yeah, they're gonna wanna subscribe to you. Hell yeah, they're gonna be way more likely to buy from you. Hell yes, their sales cycle is going to be so much shorter. So rewind back to 2017 again. I did not want to send these cold pitches at all, but I was backed into a corner where it felt like this is my only option. It is this or like go find another job. And in hindsight, I am so grateful to my past self for overcoming the discomfort and the cringe and just doing it. The relationships that I have made since making this just a part of how I work are truly unbelievable. Like, me 9 years ago would never have thought that it was possible that I would get to work closely with big name brands like Amy Porterfield and Jenna Kutcher and Matthew Hussey, and all of them came through borrowing trust. Now, at this stage in my business, I'm here on YouTube, I've got a Substack, I'm playing the long game in a lot of ways, and those are still valid strategies, right? Like, I won't lie to you and say that borrowing trust is not labor intensive. It is. You're not just gonna be asking chat to drum up 100 pitches for you to send on blast. The key to getting good results with this is personalization, and that takes time. And then, you know, leading live workshops and stuff, that takes time. It takes bandwidth, it takes capacity, but it gets results. And so if all of these slower burn things are not getting results quickly, you've still got bills to pay, you still need to get money in the bank, then borrowing trust is a really powerful way to do it. What I have learned since 2017 is that genuine, personalized, high quality pitches are not spammy, they're not annoying. In fact, they are expected and desired. Like, your dream clients, your dream partners are not out there searching for you. When they get to a certain level, they expect people and opportunities to come to them. And that is all you're doing. That is how the game is played. The very, very worst case scenario isn't even that you get a no, it's just that you get ignored. And that is nothing compared to believing that your only option is the long, slow, hard game of doing everything to build trust from scratch. There is a whole borrowed trust economy happening right now beneath all of the chaos and algorithms and AI everything and all of it. There are relationships being built, connections being made, and an emphasis on quality over quantity. The ones who are winning in this economy aren't necessarily the people or brands with the biggest audiences or the most existing connections. They're the ones who've just gotten really strategic around how trust is transferred, who they ask to transfer it, and how they do it in a way that frames the transfer as a win-win for everyone involved. Just like I did back in 2017, you can do this with zero audience, with zero existing connections, with zero budget. You just have to put in the work. If you want to go deeper on how to do exactly that, all of the pitching, the positioning, figuring out who you want to transfer trust from, I have something for you. You can find all the details in the description. It is called Borrow Trust, Make Bank, and it is a seriously deep resource that goes into the nuts and bolts of this whole strategy. Okay, if this video made you think of someone who you could ask to borrow trust from, your homework is to just do it. Make the ask. It is so worth it. And it gets easier every single time you do it. If you liked this video, if it was helpful, please give a girl a like and subscribe. I am just getting started on YouTube and it means the world to me. Thank you for watching.